Gaffer, a really tough one for us to take today with a late heartbreak at the end. I know it's hard straight after a game, but how do you put today into words?
Yeah, it's devastating again when you lose a goal that late. Yeah, really difficult, I think, particularly for the players and supporters. I think they feel that emotion, particularly with the high of obviously equalising and then conceding. So, yeah, it's devastating. Again, I cannot come here and give the away support a win, or at least something to come back with. Yeah, the goal I can't criticise in terms of how we defend the box. Liam stayed on the pitch when he was injured, so I can't criticise that. I think the biggest thing was that we wasted a half. The first half, when we come to it's a big club in our league, a big derby, when a team gives us the ball like they did, we can't just waste a half like that. But that's where we're at, and I need to improve it.
We've still got a really young squad, and how important is it to find the balance between being patient on the ball and finding time to be aggressive at the same time?
Yeah, that's a big thing. That was a big thing at half time. I think we had lots of the ball. The reason why we have the ball is to try and dictate the game on our terms. I think there's definitely moments where once we had those 3 or 4 passes and the space opened, we have to be more aggressive. So, yeah, it's finding that balance. It's also finding the balance that we've got a young team, but I want to win games. If we're going to try and achieve what we want to, then I have to find that balance between allowing the younger players to sometimes develop, make mistakes, but my mentality is I want to win the games. And that's what the next couple of weeks will be spent doing.
With such a young squad, how important is it that they use the disappointment from today as a learning curve moving forward for the next couple of games and the rest of the season?
Yeah, I think looking the disappointment in the last or the goal in the last moments really hurts, but that's also football. I felt it at Reading, maybe even magnified obviously with what it meant. The first half was a big part. That we have to understand what we do every day at training, every drill that we do. It really matters for those because I think then it does. That is the culture of the club. We have to understand that we're developing younger players, but there still has to be a big element, and the most important is to win games. And what we do every day matters towards the result. So, yeah, it's a tough one again. And I'll be working very hard to give them more days that we've had previously this season.
I appreciate it's always tough to find positives after a defeat, especially after such a late one. But can you take positives with how your side reacted conceding early goals?
I took positive from the second half. The second half, particularly the last half an hour, was what I want to see in a Wigan team. We can still play, but we can be aggressive. We can fight to the very last kick to try and win the game. I like that, the last 30 minutes. Like some games we'll win, some games we won't. But what the first half I didn't like. We need to start every game understanding that if we don't really give the best version of ourselves, then against any opponent we'll find it tough. So positives in terms of, I thought Baba Adiko, again, even in the first half I wasn't pleased with. I thought he was outstanding, and Sam Tickle with very little to do first half when we opened the game up again had a brilliant game second half. What I have to get right is we have to rely less on Sam, and even when teams give us the ball, we have to understand when to be patient and when to be aggressive.
You mentioned Liam Morrison continue with an injury, which is really commendable of him. How is Liam?
Yeah, Liam's is in a fair bit of pain. Yeah, we made the substitutes, and then it just happened where Liam was struggling, but fair play, Liam wanted to stay on. It had an impact in the second goal, but there's other moments within that goal that I would I'd look at before anything in the box. I thought Liam was he gave us everything and more today. Unfortunately, it wasn't for a point or a win, and yeah, it hurts again.
We've got 2 weeks now until our next fixture against Cambridge United at the Euro Stadium. How important is it to use this period now to regroup, refocus, and use the time as wisely as possible to improve both on and off the field?
Yeah, it's really important. Look, it's some players need certain things. Some players might need to recover for 3 or 4 days, and then it's another period of time where we have to work hard. A lot of our players didn't have pre-season together, so it's more time that we can spend together. This one will take a couple of days to get over. Even for me, who normally I get over it pretty quickly, but we have to improve the team. I have to improve the team. I want to play a certain style of football because of the history of this club and what it means. But the whole reason for that is because I want to win. So we have to find a way to do that, even when teams give us the ball, and that's the challenge we have.
Well, we're coming into the international break on the back of 2 defeats. With our start to the season, you must be pleased in terms of how we performed in the majority of our matches.
The last game against Barnsley was slightly different with the man sent off and a completely different type of game. The previous games and the points we've taken, commendable, but that's done. What I want to see is a performance like the second half, but in every game. Look, I want to play a certain style, but the basics of football still have to be there. There has to be a desire and a fight to win a game, and that's from the very first minute. Whether we have the ball or not, that has to still be a big part of who we are as a team. I think we'll get there. I think when you look at our group, very, very young, some players are sort of just stepping out that development sort of phase, and it's my job to get them to understand that I'll make them better as a player for sure, and how we play will become enjoyable, but the whole reason why we're here is to win games. I want to win, and I want to win as many as we can.
Finally, a word on the travel support. They sold out away and created noise and behind the boys for a minute while. I know you were desperate to win for them today, but they were outstanding, and there'll be a huge force for us behind the team throughout the season. Yeah,
I'm desperate to give them an away win here. Again, it didn't happen today, so I spoke to the players before the game about that feeling when we win. Some of the big games, the Derby County away, Bolton. The feeling that gives is you cannot put a price on that. It's very difficult to describe even to family or friends, and I want that feeling, and I want to give that feeling to the support as often as we can. I really do appreciate them clapping in tough moments. I think they know where the club's at and where the team is, but that doesn't mean that I accept getting beat. I'll work very hard to give them as many wins as I can. We all want it.